Hey everybody, welcome to Health Well. Today, we're going to talk about the Mediterranean diet, how it can improve your health, what you can eat, what you can't eat, and how to incorporate it into your everyday life. Watch till the end to learn all about it. What is the Mediterranean diet? It is possible that you have heard before about the Mediterranean diet and all the health benefits attributed to it. But what is the Mediterranean diet and how can you follow it? The first thing you need to know is that the Mediterranean diet is not a strict diet to which you must adhere to, but rather a style of eating from the countries on the coasts of the Mediterranean Sea. Each country has its own style, so you can choose the version that you like the most. The most important thing here is to follow the basic recommendations of this style of eating. The Mediterranean eating style is characterized by the consumption of olive oil, fish, fresh fruits and vegetables, starchy foods, whole grains whenever possible, as well as the moderate consumption of red wine and a preference for herbs and seasonings instead of salt. So, what are the health benefits of the Mediterranean diet? The Mediterranean diet was identified as a healthy eating style during the 60s, when it was clear that the life expectancy of the inhabitants of the island of Crete, Greece, and Italy was one of the highest in the world, and that simultaneously, these countries had a significantly lower heart attack incident rate compared to countries like Finland and the United States. This is how subsequent studies began to point out the eating style of this entire region as healthy and cardioprotective. Benefit number 1. It is good for the heart. The effects on cardiovascular health are well known and are due, among others, to the use of vegetable oils as the main source of fatty acids, the consumption of foods low in salt, red wine, and regular exercise. As we mentioned before, consuming monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fatty acids helps regulate cholesterol, lower triglycerides, and lower the risk of thrombotic events, all of which contribute to cardiovascular health. Low salt intake helps maintain a healthy blood pressure. Benefit number 2. Helps with memory. Another benefit of the Mediterranean diet is the lower risk of developing dementia. Studies have indicated that the population of countries located on the coasts of the Mediterranean Sea are 90% less likely to develop dementia. Benefit number 3. Lowers risk of cancer. Regarding cancer, there are studies that link the consumption of olive oil to a lower risk of breast and ovarian cancer, while an abundant intake of fruits and vegetables reduces the risk of esophagus and stomach cancer. Following a balanced diet will prevent you from developing diseases caused by deficits or excesses. Your body will get all nutrients in the right proportion. Now that we have defined what it is and know all its benefits, let's talk about the foods that we can eat if we want to follow this diet, and those that we can't. Foods you cannot eat. Let's start with those foods that we must eliminate or reduce significantly in order to follow the Mediterranean style. Animal fats. These are saturated fats, and there is scientific evidence that relates the use of butter, margarine, and lard as a risk factor for the development of atherosclerosis, which is when fat deposits develop on the walls of the arteries and therefore increases the likelihood of experiencing cardiovascular diseases such as hypertension or heart attacks. In fact, the Mediterranean diet does not make use of these fats, but prefers the use of vegetable oils, both for frying and for dressing. Processed foods. In this group of foods, we find, for example, sausages, ham, and mortadella, which are not only rich in salt, but also considered not healthy. It is preferred to replace them with fresh products. Desserts. Ice creams, cookies, and cakes are high in sugar and fat. These additional calories are not necessary, so you should avoid them. Instead of sugary desserts, a serving of fresh fruit is preferred. Red meat. Although it is not a food that must be completely eliminated to follow the diet, it is recommended that you reduce the intake of red meat and replace it with other, healthier sources of protein, such as fish, poultry, and even plant-based foods, like beans or lentils. Foods you can eat. Now, let's talk about the foods that make up the Mediterranean diet style. Olive oil. Olive oil is one of the main components of the Mediterranean diet. It is a monounsaturated fatty acid. This property is what allows it to lower the levels of low-density lipoprotein, known as bad cholesterol, and to maintain adequate levels of high-density lipoprotein, known as good cholesterol. In other words, it is a cardioprotective fatty acid because it reduces risk factors associated with cardiovascular disease. Olive oil is also rich in vitamin E and a source of antioxidants, which also helps reduce the risk of developing other chronic diseases and even some forms of cancer, such as breast and ovarian cancer. In the Mediterranean, olive oil is the choice both for frying and for dressing. Fruits and vegetables. The consumption of these fresh products is one of the characteristics of this diet. It is recommended to eat between 5 and 7 servings a day. As for fruits, it is preferred that they be eaten in pieces and to a lesser extent prepared as juices. Both fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber, necessary to maintain good health, prevent chronic diseases, and reduce the risk of cancer. Proteins. Fishes such as tuna, salmon, herring, or mackerel are recommended in the Mediterranean diet. You should eat fish at least twice a week, since this is one of the main sources of animal protein in the Mediterranean style. In addition to being healthy, fish is a source of polyunsaturated fatty acids, such as omega-3. Polyunsaturated fatty acids are required to guarantee proper brain function as well as cell growth. In addition, they contribute to lower LDL cholesterol and thus benefit the heart. Poultry is another source of healthy animal protein. You can also incorporate grains and nuts, also rich in omega-3, as a source of plant-based protein to supplement your diet. Whole grains. In this style of eating, the consumption of whole grains such as rice, pasta, and even bread is preferred whenever possible. Herbs and seeds. Herbs are widely used in Mediterranean cuisines and represent a healthy alternative to salt. The seeds provide nutrients and the fiber necessary for better functioning of the digestive system. What about dairy products and eggs? If you are a regular consumer of dairy products, you will be glad to know that the Mediterranean diet does not eliminate these foods, but rather encourages you to consume low dairy products and combine them with other foods in an intelligent way. The recommendation is to eat milk and low-fat cheeses, and if it is yogurt, a healthy option is to combine Greek yogurt with a serving of fresh fruit, instead of buying sugary yogurts with flavorings. Regarding eggs, the Mediterranean style favors the consumption of between 3 to 4 eggs a week instead of 1 daily, as is customary in some Anglo-Saxon countries. What to drink? First of all, it is important that you ensure adequate hydration. It is recommended to drink between 6 and 8 glasses of water a day. Natural juices and teas count. However, it is recommended that they do not exceed 150 milliliters per day and that the largest volume of ingested liquids is represented by water. Also, try to reduce the amount of sugar you add to these drinks. Another characteristic aspect of the Mediterranean diet is the moderate consumption of red wine. In this style of eating, 1 to 2 glasses of red wine a day are recommended for men and 1 glass a day for women. Studies indicate that moderate consumption of alcohol has a cardioprotective effect. Of course, this is a recommendation that does not apply to pregnant women and children. Can everybody follow this eating style? With regards to children, as we mentioned above, it is not a strict diet, but a style of eating that originated in the Mediterranean region. Of course, the children of these countries, like the others, are gradually incorporated into the family diet. It is also important to note that nutritional requirements during childhood differ from those of adults, so the number of servings per day may be different, and it is not necessary to take care of giving them skim milk or low-fat cheese. Children under the age of 2 have particular nutritional needs, which is why this diet does not apply to them. Now, as it is a balanced diet, all adults, whether or not they have overweight problems, can follow this eating style and adjust it to their particular preferences or needs. Now you know how to follow a Mediterranean-style diet, and you can start incorporating some changes to your lifestyle. It is quite simple, isn't it? Have you tried going on a Mediterranean diet before? Or have you noticed any health benefits of doing so? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos on health, wellness, and much more. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.